Hi everybody, Blvd, CMI, and today I want to talk to software salespeople about tenure. And I've been recruiting now for 25 years, and the kind of norms and expectations and perceptions of tenure have changed a bit during that time. But the bottom line is there is such a thing as non-optimal tenure because someone's been at a position, or the last several positions they've been at, on average, the length of time has been too short, and that's what you see most commonly. But there is also such a thing as tenure that is too long, and that's usually not an average tenure thing. That's usually you're in your current position for too long, and it creates some concerns about hiring somebody coming from a company when they've been with the company for that long. So let's start with the too long of tenure. Bottom line is, it used to be that the sweet spot of kind of perfect amount of time with a company was somewhere in like the 5 to 7 year range. And if they were, the perfect resume would be someone who's changed companies every 5 to 7 years, let's say. That's changed a bit. I would say that the more optimal range now might be more like 3 to 5 years, or 4 to 6 years as really kind of the long end. And on the short end, it's 2 years plus is considered decent tenure. I'm not saying that that's considered good tenure by most, but that's considered decent. But less than 2 years, and you bundle that together multiple times, that starts to get really tough. And you put that together 3 or 4 times, all of them less than 2 years, you're just gonna have to do a lot of explaining on the front end of the interview process, or before you even begin the interview process, just to get engaged in the interview process to begin with. But so let's say, less than 2 years, and especially less than 18 months, multiple times in terms of tenure, is perceived to be something less than optimal. And at this point, I would say 7 years plus at one company starts to get a lot dicier than people might think. And by that, I'm saying that there could start to be concerns that this person's gotten so ingrained in a certain company's culture and kind of way of doing things that it's going to be a tough hire in terms of getting them to kind of adopt the philosophy and working practices of the new company. So probably a surprise to many people, but once you get to 7+ years within one organization, it can start to make it a little bit tougher to get noticed and pursued by other companies looking to fill their own positions. So most optimal sweet spot today, my personal opinion, somewhere in that 3 to 5, 3 to 6 year range per company. And this doesn't mean anybody who stayed longer is going to have an immediate negative perception. Just means you're probably going to have a little bit easier time getting interviews and being pursued by more people if you've been somewhere 3 to 5 years as opposed to 7+ years. And for sure, the same can be said for anybody who's been in the last 3 or 4 companies less than 2 years at all of them. Happy hunting.